right. Oh, I can't see a thing. Hi, everybody. Oh, this is an amazing little theater. My name's Janie Brown. I know many of you, and I can't see any of you, but I know you really well. And I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you tonight. This is such an exciting night. We've been working on this for years, lifetimes maybe, I'm not sure. I'm the Executive Director of the Callanish Society, for those of you who've never met us or the Callanish Society. It's a non-profit organization. We've been around for about 23 years. And we invite people to come who are living with cancer and their families, either to our center in Kitsilano in the city, or on retreat. So many people who are here tonight have been on retreat with us, or their family members of people who've been on retreat. And many of you are here because you've also, I don't think anyone actually now has been untouched by cancer. We say in our mission statement that Callanish is for people who've been irrevocably changed by cancer, and I think that's true, that we can't be unchanged for cancer happening in our families or in our lives. So we're there to provide what we think of as a refuge for people to come and do the work that they want to do, to try and come to terms with what it means to live with cancer, and for some to die with cancer, and to do so with a kind of openness of heart and spirit. And when the body's failing, the heart can grow stronger and the spirit can grow stronger, and I think our commitment is to really help people to find that kind of strength, a spiritual and emotional strength. And so one of the ways we do that, and I think in our world right now, one of the things we're turning to more, and we always have, is to the arts and the creative arts and to music. So music has been central to Callanish since we started. I think it's something that's universal. When we talk about conditions for healing, I know that we all look for what helps us to feel good and to feel that we can deal with our lives, whatever our lives bring to us. And I know that for all of us in some way, the arts, and particularly music, I think, is such an incredible condition for healing, and all the different kinds of music. And so I wanted to actually, Callanish is very connected to cell phones. Good, thank you for the reminder. It's okay. Could you turn off your cell phone, please? I love the cue, it's perfect. We try to make our space in the city technology free, which gets harder and harder these days. But it's lovely to have none of the beeps and whistles. So music. I thought of the image of the cellist of Sarajevo today, and that idea that we can use music to steady our lives and to be there for people who need it. And that's such an amazing image of the cellist of Sarajevo. If you haven't seen that picture where he took his cello into the middle of that city and played music, and there's so many stories of that. So in our community, we play music, and tonight we're going to celebrate one particular musician in our community. I'm going to say a little bit about Danielle in a minute. But I want to read a poem to sort of invoke this spirit of music, and it's a poem by Rumi, who I'm sure you all know, but Callanish and poetry go hand in hand, and I think it would be really nice to start with a short poem by Rumi. And it's called Do Not Worry If Our Harp Breaks. Do not worry if our harp breaks. Thousands more will appear. We have fallen in the arms of love, where all is music. If all the harps in the world were burned down, still inside the heart, there will be hidden music playing. Do not worry if all the candles in the world flicker and die. We have the spark that starts the fire. The songs we sing are like foam on the surface of the sea of being, while the precious gems lie deep beneath. But the tenderness in our songs is a reflection of what is hidden in the depths. Stop the flow of your words, open the window of your heart, and let the Spirit speak. So that's really... So I'd like to I'm going to introduce Danielle Schroeder. I could say many things. Danielle in 2006. I won't tell the long sordid story, but I actually met Danielle through a participant who came on a retreat, who told Danielle that she had to meet me and she had to meet Callanish. And this young woman, Kinza, said, there's a relationship there waiting for you. No, I'm going to cry. But you have to cry at Callanish, too. That's another poetry, crying, laughing, singing, So, and I had to look this up because Danielle came on her first retreat as a dishwasher at Callanish. There's lots of people who come to Callanish on the team dishwashing. So I'm going to be quiet soon, but I just want to really honor Danielle. And first time I heard her play the guitar, I didn't know if she actually played the guitar, and it was on a dock. And I think Susan is here, Susan McDonald, it was on her dock. And she took her guitar out and she started to sing, and I didn't even know she sang, and I didn't know she played the guitar or anything. I said, what? She said, oh no, I've only ever played it by camps when I was a camp leader. I said, you need to bring your guitar and your voice to Callanish. And so that was the beginning, really, of a relationship with music, Danielle's music. And she's composed all of the songs you're going to hear tonight. She's going to tell you about each of those songs. But I'm just so proud of the fact that here we are. She has her first album. It's like a miracle. But it's been a lot of hard work, and to honor Kev, because I think when Kev came into Danielle's life, they're more music and a real commitment to that as a couple and to bring their music to the world. Yes. And Danielle's going to introduce all these other musicians. I'm really excited. We've got this real Callanish family up here tonight. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to hand you over to Danielle and her beautiful team. And have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you for buying tickets and supporting Callanish. Many of you in this room have been long-time supporters, and I really, really appreciate that. So.
Wow, it's just, my heart feels like this big right now to look out and see so many people in my life that I know in so many different areas of my life from different years, and my Callanish world and my friend world and my family world. And I'm just so grateful to be here. It's kind of surreal. I've been trying to imagine what this would feel like, and I think I just mostly just feel so lucky. And I think lucky that I get to be a part of a community. I was really thinking about Callanish and thinking, wow, there's very few places you get to work where you're actually encouraged to develop your creative self. And I never ever would have thought I'd write music until I started getting to know Callanish and being inspired by the people that I support there. And there's people on stage with me tonight that I get to sing with who I will introduce along the way. I won't introduce everybody right now, but over the course of the night, people will appear. Some of them will leave for a bit, come back, and new people will come on. So I'll introduce the musicians as we go. But just to say thank you so much for coming. And this album really was, it was kind of inspired by a talk I went to by a man named Malidoma Some, and he's from Burkina Faso. And he was in Vancouver in January, and he just did this really inspiring talk about 2018 is the year to let yourself shine and don't be afraid. The world needs us to bring forward things that help us shine in the world if it's coming from a truly heartful place. And I kind of left there and I just thought, well, I don't know, I just felt like, why not just go for it? Why not take a risk and put myself out there and create this album? And then of course Janie said, well, why don't you do it as a fundraiser for Callanish and we'll launch it as a concert? And I thought, okay, that's terrifying, and I never would have thought to do something like this, but you know what, it's so cool to get to step out of your comfort zone and take a risk. And so this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but having all these friends, musicians on stage, and to get to hear them bring their gift of music and into the songs has been one of the most incredible experiences. So that's been such a delightful part, and just to have all you here, to do it for a good cause. So this album's called Road Less Taken, and just to say a little bit about the album is that I was trying to figure out a title, and I think what I mean by Road Less Taken, and it is the name of one of my songs, but I think when I looked at all the songs together, which was kind of neat to do, I was trying to figure out how to describe what these songs are about. And I know that the main thing is they're about the heart. And about this heart that if we choose to live a life from our heart, that I think we learn to live in the paradoxes of life. And so I think in our community we do this all the time, which is how do we live with everything that life and death bring, joy and sorrow bring, the light and the dark. And I think that in our world, I think it is the road less taken these days. And I think those of us who want to choose the road less taken, I think it's a hard path, but I think it's also an incredibly rewarding path. And I feel that so much in the community my friend community and my family and in my work. So I hope tonight you can feel that and feel the incredible hearts of all these people who are on stage with me. And I'll introduce them along the way. But we're going to start with the first song I ever wrote, which is a Callanish favorite. And it's called All in the Wobble. And this song I wrote on an early retreat, probably when I was still a dishwasher in the early days. And our retreats, we always say they definitely are not for the faint of heart, because they require a lot emotionally. That we take people into difficult territory, again, to figure out how do we live in the light and the dark and not turn away from any of it. And so as a team member, we go through it too. And I remember on that early retreat, it felt so wobbly. I just had so many feelings. And, you go through, it's such a process we all go through. So this song kind of appeared one day, and it's called All in the Wobble. So I think we're going to start there. So I hope you enjoy tonight.
Break a leg, babe.
Accepting love is like walking on a tightrope. The balance point is all in the wobble. So give up thinking that it's any other way, and just surrender to the rhythm of its sway. The rhythm of its sway. Accepting life is like walking on a tightrope. The balance point is all in the wobble. So give up thinking that it's any other way, and learn to trust the rhythm of its sway. The rhythm of its sway. And if you listen in its way, well, you will hear all of what your heart wants to say. Oh, may your heart be breathless, recognizing love's kindnesses. And may your heart be speechless, and may your heart be courageous, encouraging you to live everything that is here. It's true we can't undo what's happened in the past, nor can we ignore it and push forward too fast. Push forward too fast. So tell me what's your heart trying to say like this? One wild and precious life given, all given, all given to you, all given to you and me, all given to you. Well, now's the time to free the heart and free the joy that's always been there from the very start. Well, may your heart be breathless, well, recognizing all its kindnesses, and may your heart be speechless, and may your heart be courageous, encouraging you to live everything that is here. Accepting love is like walking on a tightrope. The balance point is all in the wobble. So give up thinking that it's any other way, and just surrender to the rhythm of its sway, the rhythm of its sway. So tell me what's your heart trying to say to live this one wild and precious life given, all given to you, the rhythm of its way, the rhythm of its way, the rhythm of its way. Just to say a little bit about, before I get into saying a little bit about the song, I want to just introduce these two incredible vocalists on my right, or I guess on my right, your left. This is Amy Taylor. And next to her is Marianne Brown. And this particular song, I feel so lucky to have them on stage with me, because this song really was inspired by my young adult program, the people who come to our young adult program at Callanish. And I actually first came to work with Janie at Callanish to help with the young adult program. And I was so honored to get to do that. I had gone through a really difficult loss of a friend when I was about 19. And ever since then, I felt very committed to helping the young adult community who go through cancer. And so I got to be a part of this group about 10 years ago. And we have a monthly group that happens all year, 12 months of the year. And it's an incredible community, and people really help each other so much when you're going through cancer as a young person, which can be incredibly isolating and difficult. And so I've sat in those groups for about 10 years, for 12 months of the year. I've maybe missed 2 until I went on mat leave, and then I missed a few more. But I feel I've learned so much in those circles, and I always leave them incredibly humbled and I think just more aware of really what it takes on a day-to-day basis to live with cancer, or to have lived with cancer. And this particular song, it's called Ain't a Journey, came to me after one group, which I think I'd heard it many times before, but I think sometimes it just really pierces you. And it was a group when people were just talking about just how much effort it takes to wake up every day and to somehow have to just keep living your life when you're going through so much uncertainty and so much isolation. And one woman said, people always say that living with cancer is going through a journey. And she said, I don't think it's a journey at all. She said, I wake up every morning and I feel like I'm a prisoner. And I found that really struck me. So this song kind of came out of that. And I think it's a song about just what it takes to live with this illness. And these two who have taught me so much about what that is about and have inspired me endlessly, I am just so happy I get to sing this song with them. So, Ain't a Journey. Don't tell me, don't tell me that it'll be alright. Don't tell me that there's no hope inside. So don't tell me, 'cause neither feels right. 'Cause it ain't a journey like you say, more like a prison I wake in each day. I don't wanna feel what I feel, don't wanna know this is real. 'Cause it ain't a journey like you say, more like a prison I wake in each day. We're lost and alone, empty words on the phone. Don't tell me this pain will go away. Don't tell me this pain is here to stay. So don't tell me, 'cause neither feels right. 'Cause it ain't a journey like you say, more like a prison I wake in each day. Don't wanna feel what I feel, don't wanna know this is real. 'Cause it ain't a journey like you say, more lost and alone, empty words on the phone. Fell down once or twice, climbed back once or twice, didn't have a choice. I fell down once or twice, climbed back once or twice, didn't have a choice. Journey like you say, more like the prison I wake in each day. I don't wanna feel what I feel, don't wanna know this is real, 'cause it ain't a journey like you say, more like a prison I wake in each day. We're lost and alone, empty words on the phone. I'd just like to welcome Dan Reynolds over here on the piano. Dan is a professional musician, as you can probably already tell, and I poached him for my aunt one time when I listened to him playing with my Aunt Nancy, who sings, and when I heard him play, I thought, wow, what would it be like to hear some piano with some of my songs? And so I kind of went up to him at the end and I said, I'm thinking of kind of recording some songs and kind of hear piano with it. Would you come and play some piano for me? He just said, oh, sure. And it's just been incredible to hear the piano with these songs that he comes and plays for. It's just added so much, and he's got so much experience, and he's a jazz musician, so it's so much improvised, and just he kind of just shows up at the studio and just like lays down the most incredible piano, so it's very humbling. But anyways, I'm so happy he's here tonight to be a part of this with us, so I just wanted to introduce him. And this next song is called Take Me Back, and I wrote the song not long after my daughter Ellie was born, and it's really cute now because she'll sometimes sing parts of songs, which is really funny. Like yesterday she was lying, we were putting her to bed, and suddenly she was like, my aging skin is part of the song. And she said, Mama, that's the song that you wrote when I was born. And I said, that's right, Ellie. Anyway, but this song I think I wrote, I think it was, and I'm sure, people definitely with kids, but I found that when I had her, it made me very nostalgic for myself, thinking about my own upbringing and just suddenly being an adult and just aging, and it's been such a weird experience to become a parent. And so the song's, I think, a bit about longing to go back, maybe a little bit, or what would it be like if I went back and knew everything I knew today? Would I do my life differently? And so that's what the song is about. Take me back. Take me back in time for a moment, let's rewind. Breathe life into my aging skin. Run wild this time with the wind, and find a thread with no loose ends. We'll break the dead shell that lurks within. Take me back. If I knew back then what I do today, would I pulse through my veins. Heard a sounding stare takes me deep somewhere where tenderness heals old despair. My grandma, where she always said, well, time moves faster the older we get. Take me back. So take me back in time for a moment. Let's rewind, rekindle of my young heart new. Walk fearlessly, nothing to prove, and finally do what I came here for. We'll hold nothing back, one chance to soar. Take me back. So take me back, take me back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Laurel Murphy. Laurel is a singer professionally, and well, I got to meet her at Callan. She would come every 2 weeks for a relaxation group and bring her voice, and she still does when we do relaxation, her voice and all these instruments, and she has the most incredible voice. It's unbelievable, and she can layer her voice. It's like an instrument she uses, and it doesn't have to always have words. So I asked her if she would come and harmonize with me on these songs, and I now wish she was on the album with me because her voice is so amazing, and she just, well, as you can already tell, like, it's just incredible what she can offer. And anyway, so she's just been such an incredible support of Callanish, and now incredible support of me, and an inspiration to me as a singer. So I'm so honored to have her here with me. So this song is a very precious song to me. So to have the piano and her voice in this song is very personal to me. This song is called Buried in the Snow, and I wrote this song, I think it was not long after Trump was elected, and not to get political, but it really was I felt so much despair at the time, and sometimes I really get under the weight of the world, and I think I've done that since I was really little, and just not understanding why it has to be the way it is. I'm a real idealist at heart, and but it felt particular, maybe because, again, I had this little baby at the time, and I just thought, oh my God, what is happening to our world? And we live really close to a cemetery, the main biggest Vancouver cemetery over on Fraser and 41st, and I absolutely love walking through that cemetery, and I spend a lot of time in there with Ellie. And but it was a particular day where we were walking, and all the gravestones were kind of buried by the snow, and it made me really think about that feeling when you get so despairing, so hopeless, so sad, that you feel like you're getting buried. And then all these names were disappearing, and it sort of feels like that when you're that low. And so the song's a lot about that, about despair and what it's like when we feel we're going lower and lower. And then, which is, I think, very Callanish, is where do we activate our hope when that's happening? And for me in that moment, not even knowing, but when the song came to me, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, Zosha, was, I never knew until many years since she's died, but just how much of a pillar of hope she's always been for me in my life, and continues to be, probably even more now in my life than ever. And so she came to me as this beacon of light, and she was a Holocaust survivor, for people who don't know my family, and She lost her entire family during the war, everybody. And she was 19, she came to Canada, didn't speak the language, didn't have any money, lost her whole family. And she was the most positive, incredible optimist you could ever meet. And she used to always just say to me, I just feel so lucky. And so I think about her so much when I'm in those low places, and she helps me find my way back to hope. So this song is, I think about how do we do that, live in these moments of how low can we go, and then how do we find our way back. This is called Buried in the Snow. Low must we go? Oh well, low must we go before our names are buried in the snow. How low must we go? Oh well, low must we go before these tears refuse to flow. How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before this body will turn as cold as stone? How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go? Oh, grandmama, what would you say if you knew what was happening today? Over 70 years since you said goodbye, only the clothes on your back, not one photograph. Oh, how low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before our names are buried in the snow? How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before these tears refuse to flow? How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before this body will turn as cold as stone? How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go? Oh, grandmama, this well of grief, it brings me, whoa, it brings me to my knees. I'll imagine what you'd say, look straight ahead, no time for regret, just never forget. Oh, how low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before our names are buried in the snow? How low must we go? Oh, how low must we go before these tears refuse to flow? How low must we go? How low must we go before this body will turn as cold as stone? How low must we go? How low must we go got a couple more for you, and then we're going to have a little break, just a brief little intermission. And hopefully you'll come back just for a few more songs after that. But there's more wine to entice you to stay, and hopefully some more cheese. I just want to introduce Eric Posen here on harmonica. I'm so happy I got to meet Eric. He's a very dear friend of Janie and Daphne's, and when I first got to hear him play the harmonica, I love the harmonica, and it just makes me so happy. And I thought, oh, perfect, I need some happy instruments in my songs. One time Eric said to me, you play a lot of minor chords in your songs, and I was like, I know. So I am so glad because the joy of Eric and his being, just who he is, and also in the way he plays a harmonica, which you'll really get to see him groove out in this song a bit, but more so in the next song and some songs later on. But brings so much light and to how I feel when I play music, and he's so talented, and so I'm so grateful that he again is a bit on the album and is out here tonight with us to bring what you see is just this incredible joy that comes out of this instrument with him. So this song is called River Payne, and I kind of thought it was a nice song to play after Buried in the Snow, because a lot of early songs, this is an earlier song that I wrote, and a lot of them, I used to read a lot of poetry. I don't read it as much anymore, but there was, I wish I could remember the poem, but it was a lot about taking our helpless hearts to, I think it was somewhere in nature, and I know that feeling of being helpless, and we sit in so many circles with people, and we can't really do anything but just listen to them. And so often you just feel like you wish you could do something to make it better. And so it takes tremendous practice to just be with people and not be able to fix things. And so this song kind of, I think, is about that. Where do we take when we feel helpless or when we feel like we can't do anything? What do we do with that energy? And so I often turn to nature, and so I thought of the river, or because we have a creek at Brew Creek where we go for our retreats, the creek receives everybody's losses throughout the retreats, which is so powerful. And I think about that, the way nature can just receive and keep renewing. So the song's about that, about going to the river to receive, I think, the heart that needs to release. And then I kind of like the idea of a river that could carry pain. And so I looked up, is there any rivers called River Payne? And there actually is a River Payne in Quebec. I mean, it's kind of a lake that's attached to a river, but I sort of thought it would work. So it's called River Payne.
Yes, exactly.
So this is called River Payne. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Your helpless heart, to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said, take your helpless heart, to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said, wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. Well, I said, wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. Well, inside the river, mama's tears streaming down. Wash away the world into decay, 'cause the river knows to let go the tears. 'Cause the river knows to let go the tears. No to never weep, no time to sleep, to keep on moving and stop the denying. We're carving a path to a new beginning. So I said, take your helpless heart, to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said, take your helpless heart,
to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. Well, I said wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. Well, up on the river, mother's tears storming in, crying out in restless shout to the river that knows to let the tears flow, to the river that knows to let the tears flow, to let her weep, no time to see, to keep on moving and stop the denying. We're carving a path to a new beginning. So I said, take your helpless heart to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said, take your helpless heart to the riverbank, to the riverbank. Well, I said, wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. Well, I said, wash away your tears. Well, at the riverbank, at the riverbank. This is probably the one happy song, kind of light beat song I've written. And I was also thinking, gosh, I always listen to musicians and I think, how do they have so much material about love and about romance? And I was like, I never can write songs about that. I kind of wish I could. It feels so much lighter. But this is actually one song that's about that maybe Kev has something he wants to add.
We were doing the hike to Quarry Rock one day and I was wearing flip-flops and I was going really slowly and she thought it sucked. And then she was giving me a hard time, but later she was like, but Kat, I love you, like, you know, it's going to be a hard time for that.
And it was just after I'd come home from a retreat, and poor Kev knows that sometimes I'm a little bit, you know, tired and take it out on him a little bit. But this song came out of it, which is called Here to Stay.
Are there any rock and roll fans out there? Where's Maru? I know he's out there somewhere.
All right, well, we'll leave you with this one, and for a little intermission, I hope you come back. There'll be a few songs after that time. We'll leave you with a little upbeat song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not gonna go any other way, no I won't. But not today. find our way. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. We're gonna find our way. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. Even when doubt gets in the way, I'm feeling out of sorts in every way. I just remember there's always tomorrow to try again in a brand new way, a brand new way. There's always tomorrow to try again. There's always tomorrow to try and here to stay. Yes, I'm here to stay. Not gonna go any other way. No, I won't. Not today. Yes, you're here to stay. Yes, you're here to stay. Together we're gonna find our way. Yes, we will. We're gonna find our way. Yes, I'm here to stay. Yes, I'm here to stay. Not gonna go any other way. No, I'm not today. Yes, you're here to stay. Yes, you're here to stay. Together we're gonna find our way. Yes, we will. We're gonna find our way. 'Cause we're here to stay. Thank you so much. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Thank you. Okay. I know we know this is a school night, a work night. We don't want to keep you here too long, but we thought we'd just share a few more songs with you. Before I introduce this song, I just want to introduce this man on my right, Kevin Foster. He's been my partner in crime through all of this, and Kev has, been very patient with me. Let's just say, when I first thought, okay, let's do this, I was, let's just say, not the most relaxed person to be playing with. Kevin, just always being who he is, just loving and incredibly supportive and incredibly talented. Like he just rides with it, and I honestly, he's kind of a saint, actually. and he's really helped me create these songs into something so much more than what they started as. And when we actually met playing music, which is really cool. And so I am so grateful to Kev, and he's really added so much to these songs. So he's helped compose some of these pieces, and this is one that we really, it's kind of an earlier song that we've really developed together, so we thought it'd be kind of nice just to play it, the two of us together. And so this song is called Road Less Taken, and it is kind of a song that speaks a lot to what I was speaking about around, did you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to say that coincidentally, it's the same name as our album, which Danielle will be signing copies of for the low price of $10. I mean, really, that's a bargain for some seriously amazing music, which you can procure outside the merch table at the end of the show.
But this song is, I sing this song a lot at Callamish actually, and often when we work a lot with grief and loss, and to really take time with people to help them just kind of really bring out what they're carrying around their loss related to cancer, and because there's so much loss often, and sometimes it brings up many other losses in their life. And this song I wrote actually, I think it was a song to help me as I was kind of trying to make sense of the loss of my mom especially, but I think then other people along the way, and about this road less taken. I think for a long time I tried to run away from my grief, and it didn't really work. And actually a lot of what helped me find my way to my heart and to my grief was Callanish. And I think helping other people in their loss helped me, I think, find my way to heal my own losses. And so this song is a lot about, finding your way and how to be with loss. So it's called Road Less Taken. One thing goes, it feels like all things go. When one is missing, it feels like all is missing. This road less taken cannot be mistaken for all that's come and gone. It may seem vacant and forsaken, but trust me, it's been waiting all along. When one thing changes, it feels like all all that you know. One more mellow song and then we will pick it up. I think to introduce the song, I need to read a poem that was very much the inspiration to the song. And this song really speaks to, I think, so much of what I'm learning in the work I do with Callanish, because so much of what we do is really help people, especially people who are having to face death, to really go right to the edge. And it's one of the most privileged places to be with people. It's not always easy, but it's been an incredible process for me of learning and being mentored, and to be a part of a community that's willing to take people to explore that when they want to. And I'm learning so much about how to live in that incredible paradox of still living but wanting to really see, you know, what is there anything that I need to figure out for myself as I make my way to that moment in my life. And so there was a woman who came to Callanish, and her name was Jill McIntyre, and she died probably about maybe 5 years ago now. And she was a lawyer, which is so neat, because I grew up with lawyers. You always think of lawyers as people who write poems and, talk about their feelings. At least that wasn't my experience in my family, with my lawyer parents. But Jill came to Callanish when she found out she had terminal cancer, and got involved in our writing group and wrote this incredible poem that I turned to a lot, and it inspired the song, which is, I think, a lot about this paradox of life and death. And it's called I Know It Now by Jill McIntyre. I know it now long before the time that there will be enough time, that there will never be enough time. I know it now long before the goodbyes, that we will say goodbye, that we will never say goodbye. I know it now long before the pain, that the pain will be too much to bear, that I will bear the pain. I know it now long before the darkness, that there will be darkness, that a light will shine through the darkness. I know it now long before I go, that I will go, that I will never go. This song is called Enough Time. There's always enough time, never enough time to walk through this world, no matter how old. Yes, there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to say our hellos, then our goodbyes. She saw her life pass her by. While sitting on a train, gazing at the endless sky. For years she believed life was fair, until uncertainty well polluted her air. 'Cause there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to walk through this world. No matter how old. Yes, there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to make our amends. Then accept all left unsaid. Yes, there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to say our hellos and our goodbyes. She cradled her life in the palm of hands. She spent eternity with each grain of sand. For these few moments, she felt as infinite as the sea. Well, timeless in time, more cherishing her legacy. 'Cause there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to walk through this world. No matter how old. Yes, there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to make our amends. Then accept all left unsaid. Yes, there's always enough time. No, there's never enough time to say our hellos and then our goodbyes. There's always enough time. Never enough time. There's always enough time. Never enough time. Thank you.
The box is coming out.
Yeah, we'll try to get up a little bit more, sort of. This song is called A Great Mystery, and I wanted to write a song about mystery because I think probably to do the work we do, you have to kind of love the mystery and the not knowing, and which I do, and I also sometimes don't, but sometimes I wish I could know things, but I try to see it more as mystery rather than something to be terrified of, and we can't know the future, we can't know why something is the way it is, and I actually wrote this song. It's quite a recent song and maybe not one of my favorites, but it came after. I like it with these guys.
Yeah, we hope you guys like it.
I really like it because I like the solo that these guys do. That's why I want to play it. So, I actually wrote. I had a miscarriage in the fall, and it was just such a weird thing that you're pregnant one minute and then you're not. And it was just such a strange, again, it was, for me, it was a moment of, oh, this is when you just have no control. You have to just accept what comes your way. And so I kind of wrote the song about the mystery and the not knowing. So it's called A Great Mystery. Woke up this morning, well, everything seemed fine. Well, headed to work, not a worry in mind. Then, just like that, well, panic set in, cloud in my head, heart racing with dread. So I waited. And that's when I knew today's the day. Well, I've been learning the hard way that it's out of my hands. No matter will I command. No matter will I command. Nobody knows which way the story goes, and I said nobody knows. Well, nobody knows. Head down, heart strong. We'll keep singing, let it be. Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you, Paul. And we'll keep singing, let it be. Till I'm home in that great mystery. Great mystery. Till I'm home. Till I'm home. Till I'm home. Till I'm home in that great mystery. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We really, really appreciate coming. Thank you so much.
No way, man. No more chorus. You guys want one more?
This is so unplanned.
We're going to bring up pretty much all the musicians to come and join us. Dan, you're welcome to just fiddle along with us if you want. Or you can just receive it. We will be wanting you to sing at a certain point, so we hope you will participate. Laurel will help encourage you along. Just before we close, I just want to say a few thank yous, just because we've had a number of people show up early today to help us set up for this. There are participants who are part of Callanish, they're friends of Callanish, there are team members, so many people that came and just have done so much to help Callanish prepare for this event. So I just want to thank all of you who are out there. Just a big round of applause. Thank you so much for making this an incredible event. We actually had all of the wine we got to enjoy donated, thanks to Daphne, a friend of Daphne and Janie's, Matt and Sue. They have a connection to a winery and got all that wine donated for us, so we're really grateful to them. And the cheese place, the cheese ladies, we call them. It's a company in Vancouver, and they've done it for us for various events, and they donated all that beautiful cheese that you got tonight. Les Amis. So buy their cheese. And I just want to thank Janie and Callanish again for just being up for this, and just for creating such a beautiful night. Michael Luco, who again is an incredible donor of Callanish. He made that bouquet of flowers for tonight. He makes bouquets of flowers for all of our retreats. He gives us flowers that we bring on retreat to make the retreat. People come on retreat and often say, wow, the flowers are such a condition for healing. So he's often the one that gives us so many flowers. So he made that beautiful bouquet. So thank you to Michael Luco. And just thank you all so much for being here tonight. I cannot tell you how much it means to me, and I'm so glad I got to see people at the little intermission, and those of you I didn't get to see, I see you kind of out there, and so many people that I just love all of you in a different, I just feel like my heart, it's amazing the heart can hold so much love for people, and I feel that. I really love everybody here, and thank you so much for taking the time to come and to support such a good cause tonight. So hopefully the song, which is really about the heart that refuses nothing, can be a nice uplifting song to send you on your way. So thank you so much for coming tonight. It's called To Refuse Nothing. wild embrace, a fire within burns up a past hate. And in the wild heart that refuses nothing, I burn with grace to clear my slate. Who knew that love could be so wise, breaking down the walls that create divide? In the wise heart that refuses nothing, I dance with grace to reclaim my space. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. All I really need is love to get me back in touch with trust. And I want to trust myself wholeheartedly in this world. And in the faithful heart that refuses nothing, I let go with grace to access my faith. Well, as the end of this year draws near, I'm reflecting all the gifts of being here. And it's a grateful heart that refuses nothing. I give thanks for the ways that grace inspires my days. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Well, all I really need is love. Now everybody's gonna sing. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Well, all I really need is love. Again. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. All I really need is love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Well, all I really need is love to get me back in touch with trust. Love, 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 love. Well, all I really need is love to get